Hey everybody, welcome back to the RedBeard Outdoors podcast. I'm Jonathan, your host, and here at RedBeard Outdoors, I talk about faith, family, fitness, and the outdoors. And today, I've got an awesome discussion with you for our gear review, our Tinkering Tuesday, and I'm really excited to share it with you. But first and foremost, I want to say thank you to you, the listener. If you're watching this on YouTube as well, the subscriber. I've noticed that there's a lot of people that watch the videos that are not subscribed, so I'd really appreciate that. And of course, if you're listening to this on the audio, just share the podcast, leave a review, follow it wherever you're listening to it. We'd really appreciate that if you're getting something out of this podcast so that you can help grow the podcast without having to spend a dime. And excuse me, of course, if you're looking for any deals or anything along those lines of any of the gear that I've gone over in the past here, any of the items that I use that maybe you're interested in, first off, you can shoot me a message if you have any questions. And if you don't have any questions, you're just ready to order, check out the description down below, whether it be on the audio version or the YouTube version, and I'll have right there for you the codes. So check there if you're looking to order anything that I've talked about in the past. And that's why I love working with these companies. I use the products that I talk to you guys about, and I want to get you guys a discount code. So definitely go check that out. And of course, come join us over at RedBeard's Fit Crew. We've got some amazing individuals in there. We've had some awesome challenges that we've done this month of May as we're wrapping up here. We were doing Make It Outdoors. We're going to have another one for June, and we're going to continue this through the rest of the year, having some awesome challenges. We got to meet some of you guys at Mountain Archery Fest, which is fantastic. Those that are in the RedBeard's Fit Crew. So again, thanks guys so much. I wanted to just say thank you. I really appreciate you. Now, today being Tuesday, because normally we have Saturdays conversations with some amazing guests. I've got an amazing lineup, guys, for you here in the next couple weeks of podcasts that I've recorded, conversations I've been able to have the chance to discuss with some amazing individuals, some great topics, things that we can all learn from. But today being Tuesday, we're doing Tinkering Tuesday, and I don't have a physical item right here in my hands to go over with you, but I do want to bring something up that I think is not spoken about enough. And I know you've heard me talk about it, and you've heard other people talk about it, and there's some amazing events getting lined up here in the next couple weeks as well, next couple months until we get into hunting season. But Mountain Archery Fest. Now, we've had Brandon on the podcast, and Brandon has explained his story. If you haven't checked that out, go back a few episodes. Brandon Waddell, just search it. Brandon Waddell, Mountain Archery Fest, RedBeard Outdoors, however you want to search it. But Brandon has an amazing story to tell, why he started Mountain Archery Fest, the things that he really loves about archery, getting families into the outdoors, getting outside, enjoying the sport of archery, and shooting foam targets in a 3D event. If you're new to archery, there's these awesome events, especially if you're a hunter. If you're not a hunter, you can go out and shoot these, and there's no animals harmed. But if you are a hunter, this helps hone your skills a little bit more. I'd say a lot more. Helps test your first, second, third axis on your sight, stretches out your distances a little bit more so you can make sure that you're dialed in appropriately. And just overall, Mountain Archery Fest is very family friendly, and they set up some great courses. They have some cool targets that you don't get to see at some of the other 3D shoots, and it's just a lot of fun. Vendor Village was fun. We had cornhole, some dodgeball set up, and some just great individuals. You can go in, and they've got people set up for you to be able to get a physical therapist to give you a massage, help your shoulders out, work on you. They've got some other vendors out there, such as Initial Ascent, and they have that makes some amazing backpacks. They have Arrow Junkie out there that is really good at making arrows and doctoring things up for you, and just a whole bunch of great individuals that you can go meet at Mountain Archery Fest. On top of that, I'm just going to talk to you about my couple experiences that I've had. So I shot Mountain Archery Fest last year. I shot their two events in Utah, which was Soldier Hollow and then Beaver. And they're doing the same thing here. I'm not going to be going out of state for Mountain Archery Fest, just time constraints. But if you have one near you, they did their first one in Georgia this year. They've got one in Montana. They've got two in Utah. So the Beaver one will be coming up here in about a month. They've got one in Colorado. They go all over the place, guys. Look up Mountain Archery Fest. I'll leave the link down below so you can find the date nearest you, and I recommend that you get out there. It is 100% worth it. I love how Brandon sets it up. His crew is so down to earth. I'll just tell you an experience that we had. So Friday I went up, and Friday was the first day. So it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And Friday we went up, and my middle child, Brody, went up and shot a course with me. Actually ended up shooting 2 courses with me, and we just had an amazing time. Saturday I went up. That was my birthday. Got to shoot with some great individuals, compete in the competition. I think I got 5th in the hunter class, and it was another great event. And then let's see, after the competition, we did the Pope and Young course. No, I apologize. After the competition, we did the exotics course. So that was a lot of fun as well. So the exotics course was, just some exotic animals that are out there that you wouldn't necessarily normally see at an archery event. And again, for those of you guys that are new, these 3D events are basically foam targets that you don't shoot broadheads, you only shoot field points, and they have different rings. So you've got the 12 ring, and then the 10 ring is a little bit bigger, and then the 8 ring. And then if you hit foam at all, you get 5 points. You can score, you can not score, depending on how your group is shooting, what you guys are wanting to do, putting some money on the line, whatever it may be. But anyway, if you're not a hunter, you still want to go out to these events because it's a lot of fun to be able to go and shoot at these targets and have some kind of challenging shots. So anyway, Friday went up, Saturday shot the competition, the exotics course, which I had a blast. Just so much fun getting out there, getting out in the mountains. This weekend was gorgeous. I mean, there was a little bit of rain, not a ton, and it was perfect weather conditions. I probably could have even asked for a little bit cooler in the middle of the day. It got a little warm, but I think maybe low 80s. Perfect, sunny, amazing time. Sunday we went back up, and I want to say, this was Friday. So Friday, the second course that we did was the Pope and Young course. So they have replicas of all of the world record course. I apologize. So the world record course, they have replicas of all of the world record antlers, and they've made genuine replicas out of them. And you can go and shoot these foam targets with the genuine replicas, just kind of an homage to the people that had accomplished these great feats in finding these mature animals that have hit world records. So that was a lot of fun. We got to about target 5, and Brody he drew back, and he was like, Dad, this doesn't feel right. So of course I was like, well, don't shoot the arrow, let it down. And found out that so he's shooting an entry-level bow, and the draw stop, where it's supposed to stop him at his draw length, the screw had come out, the set screw had come out. And so we were like, oh crap, obviously I don't have my toolkit up there. We're only 5 into the second, the second set of targets that we're going to go shoot. So it's really kind of a bummer. So we go up to one of the guys at the event. His name is Maurice. He's one of the crew for Mountain Archery Fest, and he got us fixed up, had the right tools, and sent us back on our way. We were able to finish the course, and we had a blast. But I just want to give a shout out to, again, Brandon and the guys that he's got on that crew. They do an amazing job to take time out of their day to make sure that you're taken care of if something like that happens. Now, obviously, I thought I had checked everything. I didn't check that screw. Apparently, it had wiggled loose from him shooting it so much. So anyway, that was Friday. Saturday went up, again, celebrating my birthday, shooting my bow with some great guys. Clint, the guy that was, I think he was second place, runner up at first Phorm Outdoors Knockdown Challenge. Amazing dude, stud of an individual. We had a lot of fun. Also Eli, the guy that won the 2 tickets to Mountain Archery Fest in Soldier Hollow on the giveaway that I have over on the Instagram. He came up and shot, which was fun. He said this was his first 3D shoot. He had a blast. And then Sunday comes around, and we hadn't planned on going up, but we ended up going up. I took the whole family up there, introduced them to some of the people that I know, and my Brody, and then my youngest brother, AJ, They're actually about the same age. And they went over to the practice range. They were shooting, having fun. And then we actually got Brody, which Brody's sight is not a slider. It's a 5-pin, no slider. His lowest pin, I think, is about 55. And so we got him stretched all the way out to 100 yards, hitting the big old bag target from Morel, which was awesome. And then we went and shot a course, just the world record course again, because that was one of the shorter ones. And we just had an absolute blast. It was so much fun. So the things that stand out to me about Mountain Archery Fest compared to some other 3D shoots, because they're all great, but here's why you need to go to Mountain Archery Fest over maybe something else that's going on that weekend. And there were so many kids at this event. Like, it blew my mind to see how many kids there were, how many families came up. Men, women, spouses, children. How many of them came up to the event to spend time walking around the mountains and shooting their bows. It was so much fun to see. So if you are concerned with going to some of maybe these other even bigger shoots with your kids, that's fine. I'd recommend going to Mountain Archery Fest and taking your kids there. Get them involved in 3D. There's a lot. There's different scalable courses. So there's more. This year at Soldier Hollow, Carbon TV was a long course that took people, 4 to 5 hours. So it was kind of an all-day course, but you got to see some amazing shots, more technical, a lot longer hiking. A lot of people took lunch breaks up on the mountain, and then all the way down to some of the more simple courses. And they even have the track action mobility guys up there. So if you don't know about that, they look like mini tanks is basically what these wheelchairs are. They're electric powered wheelchairs that have tracks on them. So they could go out, and these disabled veterans and people who just want to be into archery and are not able to access certain areas due to wheelchair constraints, they were able to go out and shoot courses. So that was a lot of fun. That was cool to see. And so you've got everything in between. You've got the Carbon TV all the way down to the practice range, everything in between, some novelty shots. It was just a lot of fun. So with that being said, I would 100% recommend that you go to a Mountain Archery Fest near you. That's my Tinkering Tuesday for today. It's not a tangible piece of gear, but you can buy all the gear, all the fancy, nice equipment, have all these fancy, nice things. But if you don't take the time to hone your skills, go test yourself out on the mountain, go shoot a Mountain Archery Fest, and then also get your kids involved if they show any interest in archery, or your spouse or a friend, I would highly recommend going to Mountain Archery Fest, because that's the gear review Tinkering Tuesday for today, because you got to tinker with your skills as well. If you just have the nicest sight, the nicest bows, the nicest arrows, the nicest vanes, the nicest field points, inserts, all the nicest equipment, rangefinder, binoculars, all that cool stuff is awesome. I love geeking out over good gear. But it comes down to, how do you use your equipment? So if you asked me, should I go and buy a new bow? Or, I mean, that's kind of a big price difference. But if you ask me, should I go buy a new bow? Or if you had the time to travel, should I go to 3 or 4 3D events this summer? I'd say go to 3 or 4 3D events to go check yourself out. Make sure that your skills are up to par. Because it's cool shooting in your backyard, shooting out to 50, 60 yards, bag target, no wind, in your Crocs, gym shorts, whatever. That's cool if you want to do it that way. I recommend getting out, putting a little bit of weight in your backpack, walking around and shooting these targets when you're exhausted, when you're tired, when you're hungry, and the sun's beating down on you, whatever it may be. I highly recommend that you go and take care of your skills. And Mountain Archery Fest is a great place for that. Everyone there was genuine. All of the individuals there really just wanted to shoot their bows and have a good time. I met so many awesome people there, people that I'll be able to be in contact with in the future, people I can learn from, people that are shooting bows that are just different setups that I'm not used to, target to hunter to whatever it may be. I get to learn and have these conversations with people. So I recommend that for you. again, if you have the time or ability to travel, or if there's one close to you, even a couple hours away, I recommend going to Mountain Archery Fest, going and enjoying the experience and getting as many people as you can to go. But even if you go by yourself, you will find somebody or a group to shoot with. Just jump in with them. It's really one of those events where you can go and enjoy it. Also, last but not least, Brandon needs volunteers. So if you can volunteer, that's one way to go, and you can go check out what the volunteers get. But that's one way to be able to shoot for not necessarily for free because you're giving your time and volunteering for them, but to be able to not have to pay for the admission if that's something that you're needing. Also, and so he needs volunteers. Go check that out. You can also, everywhere that he goes, that Brandon and Mountain Archery Fest go, you can camp. So you don't have to pay for an expensive hotel or whatever. That can cut down on your travel charges as well if you want to camp. He offers some glamping options as well if that's something that you'd like to do. But my biggest highlights are the fact that you can camp, you can spend time with your family, and there's everything from challenging shots all the way down to the practice range, and you can be there all day and all weekend, shooting your bow, getting outside, spending time with genuine people that just want to get better and want to help you. So there you go, guys. There's my rundown of Mountain Archery Fest. I loved it this weekend. I'm stoked for the one in Beaver coming up in a month, and that I get to go out and shoot with you guys again. Hope you enjoyed this breakdown. If you have any questions, drop a comment down below. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you're wanting more. And of course, you're going to want more because there's awesome conversations coming up throughout every single Saturday going forward forever, from what I can see. And just as long as there's amazing people that want to hop on the podcast and have a good conversation. So go subscribe, like this video, leave a comment down below, share it with other people. Let's get the word out about Mountain Archery Fest, guys. I want you guys to get there. Hone your skills, meet good people, spend time with loved ones, go camping, get outdoors, and have an amazing rest of your day. And like I always say, guys, get out, live your life, and love it.